Hi everybody, it's Derek here with High Five Resale Shop. Let's recap or get everybody up to speed who's newer that hasn't watched before. My name is Derek. I'm a stay-at-home dad. I have four lovely kids and a beautiful wife, and she is a therapist. So she leaves and goes to work during the day. I am here homeschooling the kids for the most part, and we do a co-op on Tuesday where we go with some other families and like go through some material together. Um, so we do that. We do our sports. I got one in volleyball, one in soccer, and two playing basketball right now. So we have that stuff going on. So that's a lot of moving parts. And then I resell. I've been reselling for about 18 years now. Um, for a long time, it was a part-time thing. Now it's the only thing that I do. A couple of years ago, I was general manager or the assistant general manager at an Old Navy, and just was miserable going to work every day. And I, prayed about it and asked the Lord when can I quit this, and what am I going to do after that? And the Lord came up with a plan which I didn't even have in my thought process, which was my wife wasn't working at that point, for my wife to go and work and me to stay at home with the kids, and do that. At the time, we were sending a couple of our kids to a church run school, private school, and we have since stopped doing that. Not that anything was wrong with the church school, it's just my wife felt called to have them at home. So, so I've been selling on eBay for probably 16 of those 18 or years or whatever, 19 years. I've had an account on eBay, it says for 19 years, so I'm sure they know what they're doing. So, in that respect, I didn't sell much on eBay at the beginning. I sold mostly on Amazon, and this is back when Amazon was relying on people to ship their own items out. A lot of textbooks and other book related things. And I got kicked off of Amazon because I told a customer after they had told me they copied the textbook and they were going to send it back to me. I told them what I thought of that, and that wasn't very nice. And so they kicked me off of Amazon. I tried to set up another account, and they blocked that. I even tried for my then girlfriend, who is my wife, to set up an account for her, and they saw through that, and because of the IP address, and they saw through that, and they nixed that. So I was forced to start selling on eBay, and not that I really wanted to, but it was like the only option after that. When I started, I sold DVDs and VHS, and my store name was DVD, VHS, and More. And I sold like toys and stuff that I could find. I shopped a lot at Tuesday Morning, which no longer exists. I shopped a lot at Tower Records clearance section, which no longer exists. And then there was a wholesaler that sold VHS stuff, which was really rare and hard to find stuff. And I would go to their outlet store, and I sold hard to find VHS tapes and stuff like that. Obviously that has come to an end. The VHS market, the DVD market is not really there anymore. So I just basically kind of got out of reselling for a little bit, went to work every day at a company, and then somebody approached me with a sports memorabilia auction lot that they wanted me to sell, and they thought I was going to make them a couple $1,000. But it was a huge collection, and I ended up making that lady somewhere around $40,000, which she was blown away by. And so we made a bunch of money off of that. I think we did halvesies on that. So half to her, half to us. And we paid all the fees and everything out of that. So yeah, we did that. I'm sure at that time we were doing buyer pays shipping and all that stuff. Um, and then we got to the last of that. I actually have some of that still. There was a bin I found recently that had some stuff in it, so I still have some stuff from it. Still needs to be put up, but we got to about the end of it, and I found this box of T-shirts. So obviously they're vintage T-shirts. They were from like 1984, 1983, around that time frame, and I didn't know anything about that kind of market. So I was putting those up, and I would run auctions on them. So the the people looking at them would determine the price and stuff. And those shirts started going for $50 to $80 a piece, and I was like, "Whoa, this is something." So I got through with that box of shirts, and then I went down to the local secondhand store, thrift store, which was a Salvation Army, and I just started pulling sports related shirts off of the racks, put them up. They all sold, and I'm like, whoa, this is crazy. I didn't know this was a thing. I knew the sports memorabilia and cards might be a thing, but I didn't know that people were looking on eBay for these shirts and stuff. So I started with sports related shirts and jerseys and stuff like that, and then we got into dress shirts because I was going to work still. So I was finding like the Ralph Lauren shirts and Tommy Hilfiger shirts, and those did really well for us, and we sold those. Then we tried women's stuff, and pretty soon we had an entire, the entire gamut of clothes that we sold, and we probably had somewhere around 2,000 items up. Blew everybody's minds that we had 2,000 items up, and I was telling people at my work how much I was making from doing that, and they're like, "Why are you even here? Why don't you just quit?" And that never crossed my mind, like to quit work. But one day, it got to be too much, and I wrote a letter to my boss about. Well, I think it was the HR department. I wrote a letter to the HR department via email about a truck driver that was antagonizing and like not like telling dirty jokes in the workplace and everything. And we had a bunch of ladies working there, and they were all acted like they were tough enough to take it, which they were. I mean, but they didn't have to. That was the point, is that they didn't have to put up with this guy. And unfortunately, that helped me exit the building. I got some kind of like a severance package. They asked me not to come back, and that was my prodding to like move directly into that next thing. So then I actually did that for a while, and then we had our own store. We had a little thrift store where it basically housed everything from our eBay section. And this story is getting really long, but then we moved and did another store, which was the opposite of the fancy store that we did. We did find your own treasure in our pile of junk kind of store. So it was like maybe a precursor to these bins kind of thing. I didn't really. I pulled out some of the nice stuff and put it up on eBay, but I really didn't thumb through a lot of the stuff that I got. I just put it in the store. So anyway, then we moved to from Chicago to Missouri, and kind of got to where we are now. This weekend we sold 19 items on eBay for over $300 gross profit. There's some fees in there. There's some shipping that's going to come out of there. But Friday and Saturday were good. Sunday was kind of really slow. I think we only made like $45 that day. And then today we've already made more money than we did all of Sunday. So today looks like it's going well. This channel, if you haven't watched before, is not about flashy results. It's about, like sticking to it. What I sell that you could maybe find later and at a garage sale and flip it for some money. And I tell you where I got the stuff and then for how much, and you try and replicate it in your own business. So I think I'm missing that item. I'm gonna pause it and I'll be right back. Hold on. Okay, so the first thing that sold was this 1983 True Value White Sox promo card, a promotional card for Greg Luginski. Raw card as is. This sold for $4 plus eBay standard envelope shipping, and there's 48 more of these available. The next item that sold is this Coca-Cola. It's vintage Coca-Cola Polar Bear bottle and Coke bottle machine, ceramic cookie jar with lid. So it's like that. It's in really great shape. 11 inches by 9 by 6. I'm gonna have to be very careful packing that, and that sold for $13.50 plus shipping on top. I think that thing was up. Let me see when that went up. January 19th of 2024, and I'm pretty sure that thing probably started at a price of like $30 or whatever, and it's all the way down to $13.50. So it is what it is. Not a very good pickup, and a lot of chance of breakage for $13.50. But we will get it to where it needs to go. The next item to sell is this Barbie shirt. Come on, Barbie, let's go party shirt. It came from the Ozark wholesale liquidation auction where the cost was $1, and this sold for $5 plus shipping on top. It's new. The next item was listed, I think, on Friday or something like that. Let's see here. It's a week ago. This was listed a week ago. Indigo, blue, lace, cami, tank top, size medium, $6.99 plus shipping on top, and the cost on that item was $3.50, which is terrible. And the whole buy that I made there was the whole thing was terrible. So shame on me, and don't do that again. It was a Facebook Marketplace bag that I bought, and I just paid way too much for the bag. So the next 5 items are from the same customer. So they bought 5 CDs, and then they asked me for the combined shipping. So I'll have to take care of the combined shipping, which I always do, but I'll take care of that after I ship this stuff out and find out what the shipping is actually going to be. So the first one is Crooked Fingers Breaks in the Armor Then Painted Palms Horizons, Great Lakes Myth Society, Compass Rose, Bouquet. I've never heard of any of these bands. Vetiver, The Errant Charm, and then this one is River City Extension and the Unmistakable Man. So, these 4 CDs sold for $16 plus shipping on top. This one CD sold for $6.74, and it's all going to go together, shipped together in one package. So it'll probably be like $8 in shipping, and they paid twice for shipping. So I mean, I have to refund them something. So that's great. Thank you to Amber for that sale. And with that sale, I'm going to include this magnet. I kind of do this occasionally if somebody has a really good order. It says, God is still writing your story. Stop trying to steal the pen. So I'm going to put that in there. And I'm also going to put one of these in there. This is a new thing that I got when I got my new business cards. I'm going to put one of these Hi-Fi Resale Shop stickers in there. And obviously I'll put a business card in there as well. So the next item that sold was a bathing suit. This is a Catalina black and green floral ribbed new bathing suit. And that's a 3XL, and that's sold for $8 plus shipping on top. The next item is the skirt here. It is Ann Taylor Loft, and it's a hot pink ruffle knee length A-line skirt, size 00 or extra small. Extra small does not sell well, so you can skip over those clothes. If you're gonna get extra small, make sure they're the highest quality and everything. That's new with tags, and that's sold for $5 plus shipping on top. So not really good margins on extra small. The next item that sold is this used vintage Great Western large men's khaki safari shirt, and that sold for $25 plus shipping on top. The next item just recently sold, probably recently listed, probably last week sometime. These Hollister red low-rise shorts. Let's see here. These also came out of that mistake purchase from Facebook Marketplace, and these sold for $13 plus shipping on top. So that isn't too terrible. Made some money on that. I'll definitely make money on the bag of clothes. It's just like I'm not gonna make 10 times my money off of the bag of clothes. Next time that sold was this sweater. It's just Loft. So Ann Taylor took their name off the Loft store, I guess. And so this textured solid gray no button cardigan is size large. That's sold for $18 plus shipping on top, and I got it at a Stratford garage sale for 75 cents. So that's a pretty good return on an investment. The next item are these felt elf / witch feet, which came on like a Buddy the Elf t-shirt that I got, and I didn't like the way they looked, so I altered them. So there's 8 of these. I just drew them in this shopping bag here. And you can use them for like a craft thing or to decorate for Halloween. So I put in Halloween witch felt legs, Christmas elf shoes, 7 inches fabric shoe, lot bundle of 8 pieces. And these sold for $9.99, plus shipping on top. Let me see if I can open up another tab here and see what those elf costumes cost. Buddy costume. Okay. So each buddy costume costs $15. So you paid for one of them and part of another one. So it's something. Let's see. The next item to sell is 2 shirts. They're 2XL. They're already packaged up. 2 shirts. One is red, one is blue. It's like a boat neck short sleeve top from 32 Degrees. Kind of workout shirts. And these are 2XLs, so for ladies. So that's that. The next item that's sold is this CD by Cracker called Garage Door, and it is a 2 CD set, and it is from 2000. Yeah, I don't know if I know any of those songs on there, and that sold for $5.99 plus shipping on top. The next thing that sold is this Bumblebee costume. And I'm looking at the picture here that's up. And my daughter modeled this for the picture. And it's just a cute picture of my daughter Waverly. And this costume sold for $10 plus shipping on top. But that was really fun. Having my little girl model that costume for me. The next item that's sold, the Bumblebee costume was our costume. I think we bought it a long time ago when our children were younger, and my wife thought that she would wear the adult Bumblebee costume, and then a child would wear the small one, and they never did. They wore something else. So, the next item that's sold is this La Fiorentina black and purple plaid cashmere scarf with fringe. This sold for $9.99 plus shipping on top. Had a hard time finding these. My storage area is going to change. I have run out of room to hang things, so I figured that I'm going to start with the pants, and I'm going to bag them all and then put them in numbered bins. So to start that, I have got the bags. I have got the numbers now. I'm going to have to start that and get the location of the item in the system. So that is a big project that needs to be done. One second, hold on. So I have a young man who wants to say something to the audience.
Hey, like and subscribe.
This is Clark. Clark is my all-star basketball player. He's as good as Michael Jordan. All right, see you later, buddy. All right, so the next item that's sold are these. I was saying that I'm revamping how I do things, so I'm going to go through the box system with the numbering system on putting things away, and it'll take a while to get done, but it'll free up some space where I can hang some shirts again. My other thought process is like, why do I have so much stuff hanging around? And I need to it needs to move faster through there. So when I've been giving people offers, my offers have been even more aggressive to try and get people to take stuff. If stuff has been around just a few days, maybe not such an aggressive offer, but if it's been around for a while, let's get it out of there kind of deal. So this is a J-Gel pair of pants, premium bi-stretch green elastic waist, size 16, and these sold for $19 plus shipping on top. And then there's two more things. Okay, this one is an audiobook, and it is Burn Marks by Sarah Petrisky, and it sold for $5.99 plus shipping on top. This dog wants to get sorry about that. And then the last thing I saw was a blouse. The audiobook came in a large purchase of audiobooks that I got, and that was 2 years ago when I started this channel, right? One of the first purchases I did, what I was listing at the time that I started this channel. So you might be able to go back and see some of that stuff, or see me talking about that stuff back then. The last thing is this My Danielle black and brown floral round neck long sleeve blouse. It's a large, and I got it at a Nixa garage sale for $2.30 cost. It sold for $7.49 plus shipping on top. So that's everything that's sold. Everything that's sold. What am I working on right now? I am still trying to move out of this office. It's a very slow process. I've been talking about this for like 2 or 3 months now. I'm trying to move out of this office. One of the things was making space in the storage area, the garage, for this stuff, and getting that squared away. And I got lights put up in there, some LED, some really like 8 or 9 foot long LED lights put up in there, so it's really bright now. None of the corners are dark in there anymore, so that's good. But with running out of room to hang stuff, I'm gonna start bagging up this pants and leggings and stuff like that. That's gonna take a bit of time, but I think that's gonna free up some space. I think I have just the right amount of racks in there, which I can move around to maneuver through there. But I still have a bunch of stuff I need to get out of here. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 tubs. This top blue one really doesn't have anything in it but a poster and a box in it. These 2 are full, so that's 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's a box of shoes over here. That's 10. There's a box of miscellaneous stuff over here. So there's like 12 bins in here that I need to get out of here. And I don't know. Then this whole desk and stuff needs to get out of here. So there's quite a bit of stuff to move out of here. But I'm working on that. I got to figure out my photo situation. If I get out of here, I got to figure out where I'm going to take photos next. But that's that. So that's what I'm working on. Intermittently buying things, not too much in the ways of garage sales, thrift stores, and stuff like that. A lot of my time is spent excuse me, transporting kids and my wife to and from work and stuff like that. So we used to say that Fridays was my day to do things, but Fridays sometimes doesn't turn into my day. So it is what it is. We move on with stuff. There's soccer games on Friday now, so we'll figure that out. That's all I got. Like my son said, like, comment, subscribe. If you have any questions or comments, please put them down below. I'd love to hear them. See you later next time on Hi-Fi Resale Shop. Bye.